led by Shri Sanjay Patnaik, Chairman of CII in Odisha, senior government officials led by Shri Aditya Prasad Padi, Chief Secretary, Shri Sanjeev Chopra, Principal Secretary Industries, and others, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. While I was seeing Mr. Bagchi's presentation, I was also reminded of the quote by John Keynes, which was recently brought before the nation. In the long run, all of us are dead. I hope, Mr. Bagchi, you don't get deterred by that quote. Because unless we take care to visualize and plan and vision the long run, in any case, anything we do in the short run will not be of any value. So I'm glad that you have a long-term vision in Odisha. And as the world changes, as you reflected from 96 to 2016, the changing world, I'm glad that Odisha wishes to be a part of that changing world. And that reminds me about the other quote that John Keynes, the famous economist, had said, that when things change, when facts change, I change along with that. What would you do? And I'm glad that Odisha has decided to go on the path of change and not live in the past. And I wish you the very best for the future. Of course, Odisha reflects a confluence of spirituality and physical progress. My last visit to Odisha, I had the privilege of visiting the famous Jagannath Mandir, where the world's oldest Rath Yatra attracts millions of people. In fact, I don't know whether Lord Jagannath gave inspiration to the English word juggernaut. Did he? Oh. Because that's the kind of unstoppable force that is required for the people of a state, for the welfare and prosperity and well-being of the people of Odisha. And I have no doubt in my mind that the very hard-working, very diligent people of Odisha will make sure that the vision that we have put forth today will be a success. And in that you will have the full support of the Government of India, of Minister Pradhan, of myself and all of us working in Prime Minister Modi's team to ensure that Odisha emerges as a winner and Odisha achieves its targets. I remember when I had just taken charge as a minister, one of the first directions that the Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi gave me was to look east. One of the first decisions of the Government of India was to focus on the development of the eastern parts of India, Odisha, West Bengal, Jharkhand, Bihar, the northeastern states, because it is the considered view and commitment of the Government of India that unless the eastern parts of India progress, unless we see growth, unless we see a better quality of life in eastern India, we cannot visualize a prosperous, we cannot visualize a better India in the future. And towards that end, it's very, very important that all parts of India, north, south, east, west, all of India grows. But to balance the development backlog, to make up for years of lost development space, it's very important that the eastern part of India takes rapid strides in development. And in that, I'm delighted that the Department of Industrial Promotion and Policy, Government of India, the Government of Odisha and CII have partnered to put together the Make in Odisha conclave in Bhubaneswar. And I wish Odisha and the people of Odisha grand success in the years to come in your plans to make Odisha a manufacturing state. Even when the 204 coal blocks were cancelled in September of 2014, and the government of India had the decision to make as to what would be the new future policy in respect of natural resources of the country. The Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi took a conscious call, inspired by the vision of Pandit Dindayal Upadhyay, the ideologue of the Bharatiya Jansangh and now the Bharatiya Janata Party, who had propounded more than 50 years ago the concept of Antyodaya, the concept that the poorest of the poor, the last man at the bottom of the pyramid, has the first right to a nation's resources. And Prime Minister Modi directed that all these coal blocks which have been cancelled, the allocation has been cancelled, will henceforth not be given out free of charge, will not be given out to friends and relatives, politicians, or people of means alone, but will go through a transparent auction process, and the proceeds that one receives out of that auction will go to serve the people of the state where these natural resources are located. And the central government has lived up to that promise. Every one of the coal blocks has been decided and so far only given either through a process of transparent auction or in some cases to state governments or public sector undertakings of central and state governments. All of them at a price or at a value which will help the state of Odisha generate large amounts of revenue as each one of these coal blocks gets into operation and starts mining coal. And the initial figures suggest that over 70,000 crores of revenue will come out of the 12 coal blocks that have been allocated so far in Odisha. Only 12 coal blocks, but 70,000 crore plus revenue, which will come to the state of Odisha, which will be used by the government of Odisha for the welfare of the people, for the welfare of the citizens of Odisha, and to complete and fulfill the vision that Mr. Bagchi has just set out for Odisha in 2036. Similarly, the government has embarked on a massive project to expand the Paradip port, to develop the river basins, the various rivers in this region, along with the Sagarmala project, so that large amounts of mineral wealth of Odisha can be transported through the rivers, come to the port, and go through the length and breadth of the country, can also be exported to other parts of the world. I have recently been entrusted with the mines portfolio, where again there is huge potential in the state of Odisha. In fact, in bauxite alone, we have over 52% of the national reserve in Odisha. Along with that, we have high-grade iron ore, chromite, manganese, limestone, so many minerals that are available in the state of Odisha, that truly we can see Odisha leveraging on this natural wealth that the Almighty has given the state and the people of Odisha to help improve the quality of life, to help develop the infrastructure in Odisha, to leave behind a legacy that the future generations will be proud of in terms of development, prosperity and growth of this state. In fact, the cluster that my colleague Shri Dharmendra Pradhanji was mentioning around the Sagarmala project and the Paradip port, it's and the petrochemical complex that he mentioned, alone has the potential of huge job creation opportunities.
I am happy to announce that the state will have a convention center and trade zone at Bhubaneswar named after Utkal Gaurav Madhusudan Das as a tribute to honor his contributions towards industrialization of Odisha.